And welcome back, everyone, to Lantern Corps. Today's cousin us from Noble Chief, who asked the question, what is Kagome from Inuyasha's Lantern Corps? Inuyasha is one of those that I don't follow as well. I have a friend who loves it to death. I've made sure to get her a lot of Inuyasha stuff over the years for Christmas. But it was just one of those things that never caught my interest. I'm not 100% sure why. Just never did. But Kagome also, so my knowledge on her is a little shaky. Even looking up her personality, what she kind of represents, it is kind of hard to pinpoint her down. She's not overly strong in any one of these, but there are a few options out there. Now, right out the gate, she's not a Lantern of Sorrow. Though I'm sure she's been massively depressed before, and certainly had those moments of like low points, like all anime characters have. I don't think a Lantern of Sorrow works. Neither is a Lantern Gold Lantern. She has to be all happy her whole life. There are very few Gold Lanterns out there. Ultraviolet Lantern doesn't feel shame. Nope, that doesn't work. Well, let's look at the opposite side of that. Green? Sure, she can overcome great fear. Sure, she's got willpower. I'm going to be honest, though, I don't think Green's actually a very good fit for her. At least not with, at least, it would, at best, maybe it would be a runner-up compared to the ones I have currently. Definitely not a Lantern of Fear. She doesn't inspire great fear overall. She's also not a Lantern of Rage, despite having, a temperament occasionally, like most characters. On the other side of the fence, she's really not a White Lantern. Yes, she can heal. Yes, she saves people and cares. But you really have to understand all your emotions very well and be a good representation of life itself to be a White Lantern. So, no, I don't think so. Neither could she be a Black Lantern. I don't see that. She's not a representation of death. She does not value death in any way, shape, or form. She has not died, as far as I know. Okay. With that said, however, one of the unfortunate boring answers here, let's be honest, is a Star Sapphire. She does love Inuyasha. She does kind of wear her heart on her sleeve because she is a little clumsy in that way. At least that's the way it's described. And it is her caring for him and others is a defining trait of her. Now, mind you, a Star Sapphire it doesn't have to be completely motivated by love in their entire life. It just needs to be kind of like the obsession, the main thing at a given time when the ring shows up. Kind of like rage. Like someone who is like the Hulk, for example, it's a perfect example of this. The Hulk, great, would qualify for rage. But the Bruce Banner himself doesn't qualify for rage. Like Bruce does not have that anger in him, but he has the Hulk in him. So it's very possible that depending on when the ring finds her, she wouldn't have qualified for love, especially not in the early series. But I do think it's probably her strongest trait. It's a boring answer for a female character, but it is, I think, her strongest trait. And then, conversely, compassion. She is probably one of the most compassionate people on that show, in that series. Now, mind you, the Lanterns of Compassion generally go for people who lack compassion, but they will still go for people who have it as their dominant trait as well. So it's at least an option. She's also not a Lantern of Avarice. That's just not happening here. But at the same time, is she a Lantern of, say, Hope? That one, I really debated that one. Like, she can still kind of, people can still, hear her, not be inspired, but be bolstered by her words. But I just don't see her as I don't see her very much as a Lantern of Hope, unfortunately. Not to say that it would be impossible. I don't think it would be. I just don't think that she is. It would be another runner-up core, I think. I think, unfortunately, like a lot of these Lanterns, the boring answer is your right one. Love is your right answer. Again, she's one of those characters that isn't strong in most of these emotions all that much. A couple of them stronger than others, but still. Overall, though, that's my thoughts. Let me know what you think. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.